If you're paying a developer $150,000 per year, you are actively sabotaging your business. Because right now, one focused founder with a full AI stack, they can outship an entire developer team. And you don't need a CTO anymore in 2026. You need a system. And I walked away from a $400,000 a year tech job. I've closed over $100 million in enterprise sales, and I moved 8,000 miles to Bangkok to start a software company from scratch. And the first lesson I had to learn the hard way is that traditional developers, they're too slow. And I spent over $300,000 on early dev work to build an MVP that nobody ended up using. Because developers are not prioritizing product market fit, they're prioritizing getting features done. And in this new era that we live in, the syntax is just a commodity. But at the core of development is system design. And that's really the only moat you have left. And so today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys the exact 1% blueprint to build, to ship, and to iterate on your startup without hiring a single employee. The old startup blueprint is broken. You raise money, you hire a bloated engineering team, you spend 6 months building out an MVP, and then you ship a V1 that nobody wants to use, your burn rate goes up and your learn rate goes down. And you need to completely reframe this old style of thinking, because you're no longer just a business owner begging devs to get updates. You're a systems architect, and your job is to design the machine that builds the product. So I'll tell you what I mean by that, and here are 5 systems that you're gonna deploy. 1, market intelligence. So before you write any code in a single prompt, you need to know what you're building. And I've been using Claude and AI agents to do about 80% of my marketing research. Instead of guessing what people want, I just deploy my agents, I scrape all the social media feeds, and I find those little niche forums to see the reoccurring complaints. And I'm not just looking for cool ideas, I'm looking for trends, I'm looking for pain that my customers are actually experiencing. And AI aggregates that information in a way that would take me weeks to figure out. System 2, design and logic. So this is the biggest mistake that 99% of first-time founders make when they're trying to code. And they don't map out the user journey. So here's what I do. I use Claude and I outline my application logic over to Figma, and I build actual clickable prototypes so I could get a feel for the application before I ever build anything. What I'm really trying to do is understand what is the customer's first time experience, what is the golden path that they're most likely to go over again and again, and I build my UI and my flow for my customer without having to build any applications. System 3, the build engine. And this is where the actual leverage starts, because I don't just write an application from scratch. I use Cursor. And Cursor, it's not just some autocomplete tool. It's not just some vibe code, lovable type of tool. No, it's the real deal. It's an AI programmer. It knows your entire code base, and it gives you logic. You could ask it questions. It could even walk you through a step-by-step process to make sure that you're deploying the best solution. And it also has this really cool debug feature to make sure that if any mistakes happen, you're able to actually troubleshoot any of the issues. System number 4, deployment. So what I used to have is a DevOps engineer, and now what I've done is I've replaced them with Supabase, which handles my database and my authentication, and I use Vercel or Railway for instant deployment. And this stack, what it does is it's gonna give you enterprise grade infrastructure right out of the box. So you can go from local prototype to a secure application all in the afternoon. System 5, the feedback loop. So you have to understand launching a product isn't a one-time event. It's a data collection system. You're expected to ship ugly in V1 and just watch how the user breaks it. This is the best time to get feedback, and it's why it's so important to move fast. And then you could collect all of the information that you get, you could feed it back into Claude, and you could find the patterns. So you don't need to argue with your lead developer on what needs to take place next. You could just start pivoting to your V2 the very next day. Look, here's the truth. In order to get to $1 billion, you have to hire engineers, right? There's no getting around it. But to go from 0 to 1, speed is your advantage. And if you rely on the traditional process of hiring, you're probably gonna bleed out financially and in time before you ever find product market fit. And I know a lot of people are gonna watch this video and they're gonna go click on the next thumbnail and keep doing things the way they're doing. And they're gonna be dreaming about that one day when they finally get accepted into YC. And that's fine, because I don't make these videos for people like that. But if you're an active operator and you're actually ready to stop making excuses, you want to start leveraging an AI stack and turn your crazy vague ideas into concrete deployed systems, then pay attention.